A podcast again. Yeah, because why not? Hi, everyone. Welcome back once again. And here I am with another story. But let me just give you an introduction first. There are things that you can only say in their native language, not your, their, the thing, like in Italian or so, because, the English translation wouldn't really match the meaning behind it. Not just the word, the whole feeling behind it. So you live out of your inner life and concept that this language can't hold. And the wild claim underneath is that the words a language gives you may shape what you're even able to notice and feel. Dun dun dun. I need the Law and Order sound here. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, it always surprises me when people chuckle at my way of saying no in a quick and sweet way, which is the sound, this one, that I think you would typically associate with the Sicilian or Southern accents. But I don't know, I believe every Italian does it, or at least every Italian knows about it. Don't we? I don't know. Is there an Italian listening to this that can either confirm or not? And now I'm getting a little self-aware, but not self-aware, self-conscious about it. Anyway, so I noticed that Italians are using English words a lot lately. So apart from Chiara Ferragni, who I think she used to do it pretty often in the past. I don't know now because I haven't been following her. And she was just doing it to sound cool. Poor thing. I think I heard Paola Turani the other day, and I think she's known for not speaking English that well. But yet she was talking, like she was doing a video in Italian, and then this word just popped in. She said, "Oh, questo è molto cringe." And so this is very cringe. And she used another word in English, which in the context of what she was saying didn't make sense. And it made me cringe for real because it was unnecessary, completely not matching whatever she was saying. But I digress. Why am I saying this? I don't know, because there are things that you can say in a language that actually don't have a correspondent in another language, I think. And I'll get to that in a second. And I don't know why now there's this line from a poem that comes to mind, the Meriggiare pallido e assorto. That's so beautiful. Untranslatable, but I don't know. It's very poetic. And I'll just leave it in the podcast description so you guys can go look it up if you want to. Very, very poetic. So I have my favorite words in English, actually, that I used to keep a mental list for as a kid. And now, I don't know why it doesn't come to mind. I just remember a few. But one of my favorite words were always jeopardize, bittersweet, overwhelm, and I forget what the others were. But I do recall that I always wanted to write either a poem or a song about it, and I guess who never did. Guess who never did? This girl, as usual. I'll have to look and see if I actually did write a poem using all these words to remember them. I don't know. I look at my old journals, and if I find something, I will do an episode about it. But anyway, for sure, a word that will never be able to disappear and that doesn't have an equal in any language so far. Not even Italian itself, even if the word is kind of Italian, it's from my local dialect, let's say so. It's the word freschino. Okay? There's not a goddamn way to make people understand when someone smells like freschino. And just saying, oh, it smells like eggs or it smells like a wet dog, it just doesn't cut it. It doesn't make sense. So learn this word and know that when I say that it smells like freschino, that's what I mean. Anyway, what's underneath all of it, like, the borrowed cringe, the little sound to say no, the words I hoard and all, it's not just random magpie stuff. I think it's the gaps. So every language has holes shaped like things that the other one can say, and you only find the hole when you reach for the word and your hand closes on nothing. Did you get the metaphor here? Like the word that I said earlier from the poem, Meriggiare, okay? That's the opening of a Montale. Eugenio Montale is a poet, and that's one of his poems. And it's just one word. It's a verb. And English does not have it. It would be like saying afternooning, okay? But not even afternooning, because meriggiare, it's kind of like a shorter version of, so pomeriggio, meriggiare, I know it's similar, but it's not it. So the closest I can do is something like, I would say, like, to drive away the noon, So if I had to translate that line of that poem, the one that I said before, meriggiare, pallido e assorto, it would be like to drowse away the noon, pale and lost in my thoughts. It's a whole sentence that it's, I don't know, it carries one Italian verb that has all the meaning in it. Because somewhere along the line, Italian decided that resting in the shade through the worst heat of the day was a specific enough thing to deserve its own word. And English never bothered. Like, English is like, what the fuck? So the word is missing because the attention to the action was missing. Just like il dolce far niente, the sweet doing nothing, right? I don't know if you ever heard of it, but... And then there's, the untouchable freschino that I said before. And it turns out that I feel like this is just a whole kind of like a game of words, not a Game of Thrones, a game of words. There's a researcher, Tim Lomas, I think he is. He went and collected hundreds of these untranslatable words from all over the world. For feelings and states that English never named. And his point is simple and a little spooky. Like, a word is flashlight. Name a feeling and you start noticing everywhere. Leave it unnamed and you only catch it out of the corner of your eye. Vague, like a smell that you can't place. And there's a harder proof, the one that I love. And it's in Russian. So Russian has two separate basic words for blue, light and dark, but no single blue. So when you test them, Russian speakers are measurably faster at telling those two blues apart. The word literally sharpens the eye. So when I tell you freschino, which is, it's the smell that I told you before, it makes me smell something that you can't associate the smell that I'm telling you about. And I might not even be exaggerating. The word may actually be tuning my nose. So when I say freschino, I know what I'm talking about. Just like when you ask a Russian what color is that, they already know if it's the light blue or the dark blue automatically. Now, honest, because this show doesn't oversell. It's a tilt, not a prison. The word doesn't trap your thought, it aims your attention. So lacking a word doesn't make you blind, okay? It just makes you slower to look because it already has a meaning. I think maybe that's all I wanted to say. I'm not sure. But here's the flip I want you to take to bed with you. I used to feel this as a lack, right? Because I was like, there's no English for it. My second language is failing me or whatever. And I eventually realized that it's the opposite. It's probably a surplus, I don't have a hole where the English word should be. I have the Italian word for it. And the whole English language is just around it. So instead of having just one flashlight, I have two. I have two flashlights. And then the person across the counter, the person I'm trying to talk to and to explain the situation, only has one. So every untranslatable every untranslatable word that I carry isn't something I'm missing actually. It's something that I have, and some people don't even know that they're missing words, right? So when I say, or when I respond to something with this, and that means no, it's just not, it's just the cost of living between languages. It's a bonus, I think. And in a way, it makes the way that I talk or write or think, I want to say, a little bit more poetic. Can I say that? Because I'll always remember this friend of mine from Mount Holyoke, and she used to write these amazing poems. And different than what I was doing, I was writing poems in English and that was it. But she spoke multiple languages, included Italian, German. I think she was from Lebanon too. So, and English obviously, and maybe even French. Like, she was a real polyglot, and she wrote poems adding foreign words here and there that made the poem so special and so precious at the same time, that I kind of felt a little bit of envy, because I was like, how comfortable she's feeling writing this way, inserting the words that she knows in all the languages that she speaks, and that just comes naturally for her. And that was very sweet, very darling. So I don't know, I guess I'll have to start doing the same thing too. I don't know, maybe I already started when I did this thing, because sometimes I actually just throw a few words in Italian here and there for you guys. I don't know, but anyway, just once again, from Night Night Aloras, everything is just done for the day. So you all, I hope you have a good night.
Control. Don't be afraid.